Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and it is Wednesday, March 11th, I think. I can't believe it's already like almost halfway through March. Finally finished up last episode of The Bachelor last night, which is why I took this morning off of work because I knew I was gonna end up staying late and chatting with my gal pals afterwards. And I am so glad the season is done because it ended up being kind of anticlimactic and just took a lot of emotional bandwidth to deal with. I don't know how people can watch it several times a year. I was like exhausted by the end of it. But anyway, so that's done and over with. And even though I didn't go to bed till midnight last night, and so I slept in this morning till about 8:39, and this happens literally every single week, usually on the weekends, not on Wednesdays, when I typically have the days off. But whenever I sleep in, I feel weird and kind of groggy, and it's like, but I go to bed later. I'm staying up late. Shouldn't I be also sleeping in so I'm getting somewhat the same amount of sleep every night? I just don't feel as good. So do I just have to wake up at 5:30 every day? Am I just supposed to never sleep in or not really let myself sleep in because it only makes me feel bad? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I keep observing. So I read some more Sorcery of Thorns, and then I figured out what bag I'm gonna bring with me to Vegas, and I've been packing up. And then right now I'm about to go walk the puppies and then actually go work out Planet Fitness. And so I got this dorky shirt on that they gave me. Planet Fitness is so cool. They got some like red light therapy and massage chairs. So on top of working out, maybe a little of that will also just like do some things to my brain. I need to write a lot, but I'm really trying to get as much done with this manuscript before I go to Vegas. And I feel like that it will be a good motivator to be like, hey, if you want to have fun guilt-free, you better get a lot of writing done these next few weeks. If I was smart, I would also film a video today, but I'm not really feeling a sit-down video, so maybe tomorrow so I can get one out Friday or Saturday. And I am definitely think I'm going to focus a little bit more on the writing side of these writing vlogs. Not that I don't like the reading vlogs and updating you guys, but I'm also, I don't know, I'm not a fast reader. Some people are voracious with their reading and they can get through a book a week. I am not really capable of doing that unless I exclusively listen to audiobooks. Anyway, I need to get walking the puppies and I will see you guys soon. My dead dogs. So I definitely feel better after going on that walk with the puppies. It was actually really nice out, kind of cloudy and in the 50s. And I also didn't bring my phone with me and listen to anything. I am somebody that is constantly, obviously, listening to audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, calling someone, talking to them on the phone. And sometimes it just feels like it's too much. And I think sometimes I get my best creative ideas, sometimes when listening to music, I will give it that, but also just in silence. Definitely was feeling a little bit of that like information overload. And now I'm about to go to the gym for a little bit, and that's where I'm gonna listen to music and also think more about like my chapter 2 and my book in general. Be interesting. I haven't been to the gym in a hot minute, so I think it's gonna be fun.
Did you have a nice walk too, Bubba?
Hey guys, so it's Thursday and today has been a weird day. So last night I watched the Joe Rogan episode that had just dropped, I think that day, with the infectious disease control expert, or one of them. And they talked about the coronavirus. And this was really the first time that I really paid attention to it. Obviously, I've known about the coronavirus for a while, and it's not that I didn't care, but I just wasn't that concerned with it. And ever since listening to that, I was like, oh shoot, do I need to be more concerned with it? And then I come into work today and my boss is kind of freaking out. We had a sanitation person come by and drop off information for the members and for us, and to make sure that we were properly just prepared sanitation wise. I have an employee that was supposed to work tonight, but who is in urgent care with a severe cough. We don't know what it is yet, but it's just like, oh my goodness, that is kind of nuts. I mean, luckily, it doesn't seem to be affecting young people, let alone children. Not that they can't be carriers, but they don't seem to be dying from it. But it's still crazy. And then I keep hearing lots of people that I know dealing with shortages. I know a lot of people that are in college, and like my brother, and all classes now are not canceled, but they're all moved to being online until April. And it just kind of feels like, oh, everything is going crazy. There's been a lot of events in Ohio that have been canceled, and I'm a little anxious about my Vegas trip being canceled. If the airline does not cancel it, then I would still go, because I am a healthy individual. I don't have any underlying like autoimmune diseases or anything like that. I'm young, and I wash my hands pretty regularly. I mean, I'm more vigorous than most, I think, with taking care of that, because I do work with kids. It's not that it hasn't been building for a while. Like I've said, I've known about it for a while. I think a lot of us have, but it just kind of popped today. And so I've been keeping on with the news and just following it more. And granted, apart from making sure that you don't come in contact with somebody who has the coronavirus, taking care of yourself, washing your hands vigorously and regularly, using hand sanitizer, not touching your face, and low-key quarantining yourself, which is the part I'm not excited about, because I was totally planning on going to the gym again today and stuff like that, and it's just like, maybe I should hang back for a week or so. My biggest fear right now is if, for whatever reason, because the staff or the members get infected and it gets bad enough, and if my job has to shut down for a few weeks. I mean, I know that's a lot of people's biggest issue, is like, what if your job is affected? So that's just kind of something that's been on my mind all morning. So sorry to relay this to you, and I know this video is coming out a little later, so who knows what's going to develop with this thing, but that's just where my headspace is at and what I'm thinking a lot about. But obviously I don't want to be thinking about that the entire time, because I'm just already doing the best that I can. What I'm planning to do today is just keep working on my book. Chapter 2 is still not completed. I know I talked about completing it last night, but I kind of got sucked into that coronavirus thing and then got freaked out by it, and then tried to read more Sorcery of Thorns just to take my mind off of things a little bit. And now I only have like 50, 60 pages left of that. So, I mean, on the plus side, that book should be done relatively soon. And then I can move on to something else reading wise. Finishing chapter 2 and sending that off to my friend is a top priority for today. Like I mentioned in last week's vlog, there is a flashback sequence that I think works, but I'm not 1000% sure will until I read it back. That is something that I need to do today, is actually read back what I wrote and be like, wait, does any of this make any sense? And then still, I don't quite know how I'm gonna end the scene, like if I'm just gonna end it pretty shortly after this exchange, which is what I think will be best, kind of end it on a bit of a zinger. So there's something that a sequence that I used to have in my previous rendition of my chapter 1, like what my chapter 1 used to be before I completely rewrote it. And there is just like a little scene in there where my main character is going through the clan, so to speak, kind of like the hub of the place, because I wanted to show obviously different aspects of this location and how populated it is and stuff like that. But okay, I don't think that's no longer going to fit in this chapter, but will it fit in the next chapter? How important is it that I have that scene in there? Because to me, it's like, well, I want to show like aspects of this life, especially before like the turning point happens. So, you know, kind of have that before and after effect, but will it work for a beginning of the next chapter? I don't want to have too much unnecessary filler or fluff, especially at the beginning. I think it's always nice when the beginning keeps with a good fast pace. But I'm also like, well, I see the point of this, but I don't know, we'll see. That's what I have to do today. That's what I'm about to go work on, and I will check in with you guys later. All right, guys, it is nearly 5 p.m., so I have to head out of here, especially because I need to go to the grocery store and stock up on some things, it sounds like. But I have some writing things I want to talk through. So this current chapter that I'm working on, my chapter 2, previously was my chapter 1, but there were elements of it that I wanted to keep because I thought they were cool and an interesting way to introduce a very important secondary character. What I started to realize and why this chapter is taking me longer than it really should have, considering a decent amount of it is already laid out for me, is because I'm too stuck in what has already been written in a way where I'm almost not reading what was already written, because that previous chapter 1 was very polished. It didn't work as a chapter 1, but it was edited several times and that whole thing. And now I'm almost skipping over certain portions of it and assuming that it works, even though my new chapter 1 is so radically different and has like just a whole different way of setting up the story. And I'm like realizing this happens every time I work on a previously revised chapter. I don't know when I'm gonna learn that I just need to completely rewrite that chapter, not just work with the previous elements that I have. I mean, obviously I can do a little copy and pasting, but I just need to generally rewrite the chapter, because I always end up doing this thing where I allow so much of the chapter that was already written to stay, even if it doesn't work. The flashback thing I think does work. Thank goodness, because I really wanted it to. But there's just like an exchange that these two people had that I literally it did not even cross my mind that wouldn't work anymore, given the events that my new chapter 1 presents. It's like, oh wait, why would my character say that anymore? That's like not at all the most important thing happening, or that's not where his headspace would be. And also making sure that I have character descriptions and like just stuff in play when introducing these new characters. Everybody knows it's something they have to do when introducing a new character. It's like you need to take a minute and kind of describe who they are or what they look like. It doesn't need to go on for a long time, but sometimes, especially because I know these characters so well, so I'll just forget that I need to add like, wait, what does this person actually look like? I did not mention it at all in these 2 chapters, even though it's like actually really cool and interesting and tells a lot about the character, and I just completely forgot to mention it. So that took up a decent amount of time today, and like I said, I need to go to the store and hopefully find some hand sanitizer and stuff there still, but go home and ideally work on it some more. Although there's also, if I'm being honest, a good chance I'll just finish up Sorcery of Thorns. I'm not meaning for this to take so long, because like I said, I really need to work on getting this stuff done, especially before I go to Vegas, assuming that I'm still able to go to Vegas and my flight doesn't get canceled. Okay, but I'm gonna get going, so I will update you guys later.
All right, so I just got back. Well, I walked the dogs, and of course it was raining when I walked the dogs. It had not rained literally at all today, but I went to Kroger's and it was so nuts. I saw people wearing masks. There was a ton of stuff like the disinfectant aisle that was completely just wiped out. And I know that's been going around on social media. That's like not anything super crazy. I was kind of expecting that, and luckily I was able to get everything that I needed to get, and my fridge is the most stocked that it's been basically ever. But oh my gosh, it's just so freaking nuts. But I just hope that everyone else is safe and good, and that this, we can only hope, blows over as much as possible. So I'm finally gonna eat today. Definitely read. I definitely just want to chill out. As annoying as Sorcery of Thorns can be, I'm also just excited to go into a fantasy world where the protagonist is dealing with love and monsters rather than the freaking coronavirus. Good morning, guys. It is Friday, and bugging out a little bit because I straight up told my other employees not to come in today. And then my boss called me this morning, and he's meeting up with the other board of directors, and they're discussing about shutting down childcare probably for the rest of the month, because we do deal with infants. They have no immune system, so they're potentially at high risk. Should that happen, I will still be compensated. I'm not sure about the rest of my employees, frankly, so that's obviously a bit of a concern. But should they shut it down? Honestly, I wouldn't be that upset about it, because this whole thing is making me very anxious. Not even on a, I'm not nervous about contracting it. Even if I do, I'm so young and healthy. I don't think it would be severe, as 80% of cases have not been. They have been mild, but I'm more nervous about the social and economic status of the rest of the country. I'm nervous for my mom because she's over 55. I'm nervous just for people that I know. I want everybody to be safe and healthy. I want this thing to be curbed off as much as possible. I want everybody in the medical field to be safe and not overwhelmed with too many cases. I just want everybody to be doing what they can to keep themselves healthy. And so whatever happens, whatever decision they come to, I'm kind of like, okay, that's whatever we have to do to make sure everybody is safe. I feel a lot of anxiety. I want to stay as informed as I possibly can. I want to also not panic, because that doesn't help anybody by doing that. And that the best thing to do is just to try to take care of ourselves, socially isolate ourselves, keep things sanitized and disinfected, wash your hands often, not touch your face, like stay well rested if you feel ill. I know this is what you should do. I know that everybody in the country, especially what happened to Italy, is doing the absolute best that they can to keep this under control. So I think it's just so crazy how much it's blown up the last few days. I didn't expect anything like this to happen, and maybe that's just ignorance on my end, and I'm just somewhat surprised, taken aback, and I'm nervous about the future, obviously, but I'm doing what I can. I'm in a much better position than most. I know I'll be okay. I just want everyone else to be okay, is what it comes down to. That all being said, it's a stunningly beautiful day out, and should I have to stay home for the next few weeks, what a perfect opportunity to get through my manuscript, trying to find the silver lining in all this. It's like, oh my gosh. And especially like kind of limiting any social obligations or going out in public or even like seeing movies. It's just like, wow, what else am I gonna do with my day except actually get through editing my books. So there is that to look forward to. I think as of right now, because I am a little bit too much in a panic to focus on the book, I'm gonna focus on reading because I have like 40 pages left now. It's ridiculous. I tried to read more last night, but like I said, I was kind of hyped up from the coronavirus and got a little too anxious to focus. Like I gotta take my mind off of it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, so stay safe and wash your hands. All right, so I have to run over to the office and take care of a few things, but we are officially shut down for the next 3 weeks, which is so crazy. But I mean, I just sprayed everything with bleach and sanitized, so it's actually probably a very like safe and clean and sterile place to be in. But I'm going to help out the club maybe 10 to 15 hours these next few weeks. But yeah, for the most part, I'm gonna be chilling at home. Follow me on Instagram because I already posted about all this stuff kind of live in the moment if you want to. So I will check in with you guys later. All right, everyone. I just kind of want to get a bit of an update for what I'm planning to do for the rest of the day, which is mostly read. Because I still have only like 30 pages left. I'm so close to finishing Sorcery of Thorns. So I just want to knock that out this afternoon and then probably just watch TV or movies. I'm just not quite in the right headspace to work on my writing, although I'm hoping if I just kind of chill out today, go to bed early, I can focus more on writing just the rest of my time off. I just can't believe how much free time I'm gonna have the next 3 weeks. It's absolutely wild. As for going to Vegas, the president just declared a national emergency, but as of right now, that doesn't seem to be affecting our flights within the country. So the way I see it is that unless my flight gets canceled, I'm still gonna plan on going to Vegas and just bring a ton of hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes and kind of be careful about what places we're planning on going to. And if we end up just hanging out at the hotel and going swimming all day, that's what we do. The reason I'm going to Vegas is not for a show and even not for the nightlife. It's just a quick and cheap opportunity for me and my friend to Columbus to spend time with my friend from LA. That's ultimately our goal. What we end up doing in the setting that happens is totally secondary. So that's kind of my thought process on that. And obviously things could either escalate and get worse or get better within the next few weeks. So I'm just kind of leaving that up to chance. I did message my tattoo artist. I am getting tattooed this Sunday on my back. It's a pretty decent sized one too. And I am going to the best rated, top rated, most awarded tattoo studio in Columbus. It's absolutely beautiful inside. I trust that facility entirely. And I talked to my artist about if we need to consider rescheduling because of the coronavirus. And he said that as long as we're being honest and communicating with each other about how we're feeling, like if we're feeling ill or anything like that, there otherwise shouldn't be a problem because as a tattoo artist, they are experts in sanitation, but also in bloodborne pathogens and making sure that everyone involved is as safe as possible. And that he's going to break down when I'm there all the things that I need to do to treat the tattoo after I get it. It's an intense thing that will 1000% get my mind off of this freaking virus situation, and I'm actually really looking forward to that. So, like my shirt says, look on the bright side. I'm going to be able to work a lot. I'm going to try to put out more videos. I'm going to be getting my back tattoo. My Vegas trip hasn't been canceled yet. So there, you know, things are kind of scary right now. I've had a little bouts of panic these last few days, but I'm feeling better. I hope all of you are staying safe and are doing everything that you can to lessen the risk. I hope you're staying at home. If you can stay at home, I know some of you have to go into work, and just make sure to wash and sanitize your hands and surfaces as much as possible, and to just protect yourself, protect others, and we're all gonna get through this. So I love you guys so much. Hi everyone, so it is Saturday and I have a few friends coming over in just a little bit to play some more intensive games. This is definitely where of a social isolation aspect of the coronavirus outbreak is getting a little hard on me, because my natural inclination, because I am so extroverted, is to invite as many people over as possible and really turn it into like almost an event of sorts, better for everyone involved to keep it a little bit more minimal. The two people that I'll be playing with, we have been planning this particular game night between the three of us for the last 2 weeks, so that's why we're still going to do it. And I've spent a lot of today just checking in with friends and family that don't live in Columbus, and just making sure that everybody's doing okay and staying safe, and just hanging out, staying inside, not doing anything fun. Luckily, everybody seems to be taking care of themselves and kind of has the same idea of just vegging out and binge watching shows or reading lots of books, which is my plan too. Lots of cleaning, disinfecting, sanitizing, on top of my regular weekly chores. So sorry there's not much of a writing or reading update right now. I tried listening to the beginning of Morning Star, which is the third book in the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown, the third and final book, I believe. I know there's more books in this universe, but I think they're like prequels or something. But this is like the final in this trilogy, and I tried listening to it, but it is just so intense, and I already have a lot of anxiety. It just wasn't the right fit for how I'm feeling right now. I need something a little bit more lighthearted, more comedic. I watched some Rick and Morty last night, which can be kind of intense too, but I just want to laugh. I don't think it's unreasonable to be kind of nervous about it. I don't like that. I mean, like, my heart is racing a little bit more. I can feel a lot of tension in my chest and gut. I know this, so I've been trying to just be a little bit more thoughtful and take it easy, because I'm just trying to minimize that sort of stress, especially about things that I can't control. So this will probably want to be one of the last updates. Coronavirus thing has kind of taken over this vlog, and I want my next one to be very writing oriented, because I want my next few weeks to be very writing oriented. So that being said, I love you guys so much. Make sure to wash your hands and sanitize surfaces, and be really, really, really safe for yourself and for others. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.
Okay. Don't let his cute smile fool you. We had sex once, but it wasn't even that great.
All right, are you ready to begin?
Are you ready to begin, son?
Please remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
Would you mind sharing your feelings about something that happened to you today?
Yes. I mean, I pigged out on some pizza. It was pretty great. I felt pretty good eating some pizza.
What about the pizza was so great?
I had Canadian bacon and pineapple on it. And that's just two of my favorite toppings.
Those are your two favorite toppings, you would say?
I would say two of my favorite toppings.
What are some other things that you like to eat?
Well, I'm a huge fan of cow beef. Cow beef is pretty great. So is regular beef. And I ain't gonna duck around here, kid, but about any meat will do.
Just cow beef, or
minutes
just
remain.
in like any kind of meat?